A fully autonomous tractor that works 24 hours a day in the field because it has a 75 horsepower Perkins diesel engine. You can attach any implement because it has a lift, so your tools that you already have on your farm, and also the power takeoff, so it has everything to work autonomously. Let's see how AgriCobos works automatically in the field. It's every farmer's dream to have a machine that works autonomously in the field, in my case the vineyard, and to be at the farm doing other tasks, because we're always overwhelmed with small things to do. That's where the idea of automation comes from. Now it's a real tractor because we have a Perkins engine with 75 horsepower, so it's got great power. We have tracks, so we can work on any slope, in any condition, without compacting the soil. We have a lift, like every tractor, to attach equipment. We can use our existing farm equipment, so there's no need to buy new attachments. And this is super versatile because I can attach anything from the shredder to the sprayer, like in this case. I can also attach a small subsoiler to it, so I can attach whatever I want. And on top of that, we also have the power takeoff, so we can attach all the other tools as well. In short, it's a cabless tractor that autonomously works your land. Hello farmers, hope you're all well. We're not talking about a prototype. We're talking about a machine that's already operational on the farm, so it's a reality. Now let's go see the details of this machine. We've already seen it at various fairs, we've seen the theory, and today we're going to see it in practice. Let's also see how it's working, how it operates, how the safety features behave. In short, everything. But let's start from the beginning. This machine has been working in these vineyards for several months now. It has already mapped everything, understands how things behave, and knows where the plants are. But let's suppose this machine arrives at our place tomorrow. What happens? The machine is placed in the capezania, it understands where the rows are, and it starts working. Of course, the first round will map our entire vineyard. We could already do the treatment, we can help it, correct it, if there are small adjustments we want to make. More rounds mean more work and better machine learning. Be careful, this is important. Why? Because the vineyard is never the same. We start in March with everything bare, and then we gradually change the face of our vineyard. Because all the vegetation grows, the grapes grow. Basically, it develops. This automatic system starts mapping every time and keeps updating our vineyard more and more. It does this through all the sensors and cameras that have been installed. All this data is collected and put into a big central computer where they are analyzed and a more and more accurate real image of our vineyard is created. I'm an entrepreneur. So let's get to the point. Why are they my future? Actually, these machines are already the present. We increasingly have costs coming from the working hours of the person on the tractor, whether it's an employee or the owner. Anyway, those are working hours that need to be counted. We have a diesel problem, so we need to optimize the diesel we use. A machine like this is definitely much more economical than a regular tractor because it balances speed, power, and usage when needed. So it's perfectly controlled. We also optimize working hours. No matter how much someone can work, they can work 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Never 24 hours a day. At certain times, especially in the vineyard. In certain seasonal conditions, when it really rains a lot and it's hard to get in with the tractor, being very punctual and doing a treatment makes the difference. So in 24 hours, I can treat the whole property.
We grow vineyards mainly in the Friulian plain and partly in the hills. In Friuli, we manage about 200 hectares, partly organic, partly conventional. We use all the technology possible and imaginable to reduce costs and definitely also to save time, because the problem of labor is here, just like everywhere else. As a result, we started using precision agriculture, remote control of all the equipment, of all the machines. We also approached the world of robots, moving to robots because there is a lack of personnel, a lack of drivers. As a result, we have this need. But above all, one operator is able to oversee multiple robots to perform more operations. And these robots can work 24 hours a day. As a result, there is a reduction in time and cost and a promptness in the operations we carry out.
One last thing. It's important to note that a machine like this is totally versatile. What does it mean? It means I don't just use it as an atomizer. 3-4 months a year, but I use it for all the various tasks. And as you saw, and I explained it to you, it enters the field, understands where it is, starts mapping it, and gets going right away. It can also be a great solution for the contractor. He brings the machine into the field, starts working the land, and comes back to pick it up at the end of the job.
The staff who will no longer drive the tractor, they will be managing the robots, but they will be managing the robots not out in the sun, but it will be in a climate-controlled environment. So the robot can operate during the day, even at 30 degrees or at night, because then the remote operator will control these robots easily and simply.
But let's take a closer look at the machine. Let's get inside it. First of all, if you take a look, it has been designed in a really, really simple way. It almost doesn't look like a modern car, because modern cars today are a mess, even just doing maintenance. Here, instead, everything is easily accessible. We have a Perkins engine. Why is the Perkins engine important? Besides definitely giving us reliability, we have all the spare parts because it's still a very, very widely used engine, as well as being reliable. Here we have the diesel tank, so it's very simple to fill up at the start of work. It has excellent autonomy. Of course, the autonomy depends on the type of work you're doing, because the consumption is based on that. Outside we have all the various sensors which are well exposed. The radiator is very important. It's divided into 3 parts. So on this radiator we already have hydraulic oil, engine and water. A very interesting application. It's fundamental. We know that when the machine is working, the grate tends to pick up all the straw, basically all the junk. And so this usually fills up with small dirt particles, basically, that end up clogging it. All the cooling of the machine, after a certain number of operations, the machine reverses the fan's direction, so it cleans the entire grill. So this means that the machine always works at full capacity, without any problems, without overheating, based on a series of tests here. Now let's go to the oil tank. They told me that after a whole day's work, in the middle of summer, the oil reaches about a maximum of 60 degrees, which is an excellent temperature. It means that we are able to cool the machine very, very well. Why are we talking about oil? Because we're going to move to the back if you go and look at our power takeoff. The power takeoff is not a mechanical power takeoff. So mechanical PTOs usually wear out faster, but this one is hydraulic. So what does all this mean? It means that since we have all this hydraulic power available, we might be able to connect to it someday. Even behind a shredder, which can also be one of those oil-powered ones that are starting, I have to say, to work. Speaking then, of course, about the hydraulic system, the tracks are hydraulically tensioned, which means that the machine keeps a constant tension. It monitors and keeps an eye on basically the whole operation. This means that the track always works optimally, and if we need to do maintenance on the track or something else, always hydraulically, we'll loosen it and complete our operations without any issues. So here too, it makes all the work easier for us. Now we can have our machine, right, with the tank installed to do the treatments. In this case, The farm wanted it to be more versatile because they already had their own machine, specifically for doing treatments, especially for multiple rows. So it was configured this way. If you take a look, it's actually the machine that balanced the weight because the engine in the front makes everything well balanced. Amazing. So it finished at the end. It automatically detached the atomizer, of course, at the headland. Now, following a map and a plan that he studied, he enters a new row, and as soon as he enters, you'll see that it will start. Yes, the atomizer works autonomously, gentlemen. This is truly the present. How beautiful it is. Look now, in 2 seconds, 3, 2, 1, bam, look there. You see it turned it on. This way we don't waste the product. And it's working. And the machine keeps running. Now, this isn't just the future, this is already the present. A machine that works for us 24 hours a day, we're definitely saving various costs. We're much more efficient. If there's a hailstorm, we need to do a treatment because we have to cover a very large area. We can have it work 24 hours a day. We just need to add diesel and water. So the operator, even on such scorching days, he doesn't have to do anything except check that the machine is working properly. Of course, this video can't be exhaustive. We've opened a very big parenthesis to understand if it might be right for you, for your farm, for all the questions you surely have, which are specific. Feel free to contact them and ask your questions. Nothing. We're gonna eat since the machine does our work. Farmer, see you next video. Bye, everyone.